World Championships. But here are the stats, and this is the thing about it. We're not just this hard point. Also, the one we may have for map number 4. Rotationally, both these teams have really struggled, especially this stage, at getting themselves in the right positions at the right time.
Yeah, they're both 1-9 in the last 10 HPs. Neither of the squad has found any success in this game mode, so someone's going to walk away victorious today. And Carolina are hoping that it is going to be them, as they're early on into this P1 HP. Gwyn finds one on a deep pinch, and so far they have read the setup right now from the Gorillas.
Yeah, looking really solid for it. Fellow had a great day yesterday versus Optic. Already kicking things off with some good zoners control over the top of the first hard point. Diamondcon trying to get involved, but it's enough to at least allow TJ to stay alive a little while longer. And Fellow has had a miraculously good start. Eventually shut down as Fame will continue to keep LAG inside the hill.
And now with only 15 seconds left, you see those spawns for Carolina. They're so deep off the rotation to next. So Gorillas are going to be fully set up over towards that P2 HP. You can get the break, but it's not going to matter because you're still going to have those backbones here for the Gorillas. But if you are Carolina, now with those 3 kills going in your feed, you have to now be aggressive at this opportunity.
And Flames has to hit the deck. Lots of damage already tallied. Semtex just to try to give a little bit more space for him to get the regen off. Diamondcon also shuts down a lot of the middle of the map, but here come Carolina. A lot of AR action right through the middle of the map. As Ezreal trying to get in to help out onto the hard point, but as he's taken down, here comes the hit from the Ravens.
Yeah, and they have every single player alive on this side of the map. Clayster and TJ trying to dynamic duo their way through the backside of Cafe. And TJ's able to win a one-on-one at the same time. Fellow finds one, and that's 3 dead in the feed now for Carolina. A successful break early on, but with only 30 seconds left, you had to start thinking ahead. Players already thinking about that rotation.
Yeah, but Astro right behind the play is able to cut down one. Did he see Fellow, though? That's the other real question. 6 is to start for Tyler, and I don't know if LAG have any idea that he's already in this position. A couple of exit kills from TJ also keeps the pressure onto LAG, who are still spawning out.
Yeah, and if you're Astro now, you're in a crucial position to potentially allow your teams to break successfully in towards P3. It's going to be 2 gunfights right in front of you. He's only able to take down one, but Fellow, he gets a bad timing. Flames was able to sneak his way behind enemy lines, and he's trying to be the sole man to lead to this break for LA.
Oh, he's got help from Clayster on the cross while the ARs from Carolina getting the job done. Pistol out. Oh, Flames up close and personal, able to find 2. That will limit how much Carolina can really set up around this hard point, and then good shots crossing into the hill as LAG will get a double from Ezreal and a chance to get right back into the hard point.
Yeah, this is difficult right now for Carolina because you find all the kills, you just couldn't find one. The fact that Ezreal was able to work his way up to the map with some insane shots out of that Rival 9, it leads to the break here for the Gorillas. Now they know where the pressure's coming in with 30 seconds remaining. All of Carolina had to apply pressure over through Junk, but they find all the kills. Now all you need is a trade onto Fame. The break is going to be successful. Final 25 going to be in their favor.
Tempo definitely trending in favor of Carolina at the moment. LAG trying to make some pressure happen here on the exit from Old over towards this shop bench, which Fellow's right there again to match. It just feels like as soon as you start to think Carolina's maybe a step behind, someone sneaks over, puts a little bit of extra pressure on it, it's keeping LAG on their toes.
You can just tell that they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. TJ at an 8-4 start. Felony always puts it together on land at 9-5. You're able to stay with the best, but now you need another break in towards P4. You have a route being hit by Fellow. He is going to get read by Diamondcon, and now all of LAG just need to put their focus on the front side of this HP.
Flames in a great spot here, topside bridge, just to try to restrict some of this rotation over, but it doesn't stop the kills from still coming through for Carolina. Somehow, some way, they keep putting together the kills they need. Astro runs out of ammunition, and now the break from the front is looking good. Fame also shut down. An extra step forward for TJ allows Carolina not just an opportunity for the hill, but you've got TJ now earning the cruise missile as well.
Yeah, TJ's been playing outstanding for this Carolina roster all throughout this Majors qualifiers. And he's continuing to do so. Cruise missile already earned. You're contesting this B4 all the way to the very end, but you have players already off the rotation over towards next. You're just trying to keep LAG trapped in towards the backside of this milk truck for as long as you possibly can, because they're not going to be at the party early off our rotation. So Carolina have a big opportunity here to grow the lead even more.
And considering it feels like Carolina are making all the right plays, LAG are doing a great job of staying involved. In particular, Fame 6-11, but a minute worth of hard point time already. I mean, he has just existed, it felt like, throughout a lot of these really tight moments. So now you rotate back over towards Junk. Little split hit for LAG, 2 from the front, 2 from the back. Fellow has to come back to help as the pressure is now starting to amount over towards the hard point itself, but just as it does, the kills for the Ravens come through again. Critical moment for the Ravens here, still 35 seconds to fight.
Such a beautiful play right there from Carolina for the initial 2 players to fall, and they still hold strong on their setup, knowing that the close spawns were going to be there, at least for Carolina, through the middle of the map. So the first push gets shut down, and it's still Carolina in control of the spawns. LAG just trying to make their way over towards this HP, but it has not been easy. Now with only 20 seconds left, you're forcing your way out through top red, and These gunfights are just going to go in favor of Carolina because they just have the better head glitches.
It's just there's not enough trades across the map right now for LAG, and now you're starting to really feel the impact of the kills for Carolina. Almost everybody at least positive, if not double positive. Fellow continues to destroy this LAG squad. End of the first rotation, 139-73, nearly double the points, and TJ feeling like they don't have a good look at P1's going to call the cruise.
And this is perfect because Clayster also finds a kill, so he's going to put himself on a nice little route. The spawns for LAG are going to be a little bit funky, but Carolina so far trying to do their best to read where the hell they are coming from. But the 2 initial kills go in favor of the Guerrillas. You're still in control of this HP, but with Clayster falling, now it's all up to Fellow to simply hold it down.
Okay, moments here for LAG. Picking apart this Carolina setup, and oh, there we go. 4 straight dead. Clayster on rotation. LAG starting to turn their heads over towards P2, and there is a spawn for Gwen on the left side of the map. So there's actually a chance here. If Carolina can find a couple of kills, they can not just win rotation, they can make life hard on the exit time here.
And that all comes down to what the route right there was out of Clayster. He knows that with 30 seconds left, I'm still going to push myself over towards the next HP. So they currently have a 50-point lead. They're trying to bounce back off of the loss yesterday to Optic. Let's step aside and go to listening with the Ravens.
One shot top red, one's at old.
Do I have to crash
Astro one bottom red. Yeah. Astro one bottom red. Morning secret.
One front hill, in front hill, front hill.
One mid, one bottom red.
It's on your windows in yellow. Windows in yellow. I got one.
I can help you, yellow.
One hill. I just want middle.
And one's top red, top bus. Astro's bus. One in time, the rest one secret. Copy of time.
One yellow. Sun yellow. Copy of time.
Yellow and copy of time.
Dead.
Nice, that's kind of yellow.
I needed him.
Outside of yellow. I'm chowing yellow.
Flames yellow.
Yellow dead.
They're gonna be over secret.
I'm looking secret. I'm looking at the rest.
Copy.
I'm going
Time in contact. One's cubby, missing one. Astro cubby, missing one.
Copy and top red.
Alright, I hear you.
Alright, he went soda. He's going archers right now.
Didn't hit mid.
Okay.
I backed up to new. Right is open, Teach. I'm in new with a trope, okay? I'm just holding left.
I'm top red right now.
Arch is on me weak and one at old. Arch is pushing up to elbow and one was yellow.
I have low red.
Only
One was
holding
yellow on you.
left. I'm only holding left.
Same as
I'm gonna get a trophy on hill on you.
I already have one.
Okay, I'm gonna get another.
You can get back left, Clay. You can go back left.
Yeah, I will.
Go to the yellow car.
I will.
You good?
One's
Yeah.
P1. One is P1.
I have top red.
He's not sun mid. He's P1. He went left.
I didn't see anything low.
Yeah. They're working left.
Yeah, they're working left. There's nothing top red. Did they
One
low
is
right?
P mid.
Bro. They're native. They're broke. Top broken. I think.
One's deep.
Broken,
Low
guys.
left
Broken.
garage.
One middle,
Low left garage, Clay.
They could jump out of you. I'm just holding low.
Charles mid.
I'm looking low left garage.
I'm looking mid.
One
One shot mid heady.
I'm looking mid heady
I'm
only.
holding the back
You
left.
just push me in time.
And one
Flames
low-
in time.
low side
One's low
time.
garage. One's mid. Just hold. You guys are fine. You guys are
Astro
fine.
mid.
Nice. At least one. Go mid, Isaiah. Go mid. I'm behind him. I'm behind him.
I mean, again, it's another one of those moments for Carolina getting tested on these rotations. LAG just in the game, even though Carolina's comms sounded pretty clean and they're focused on the right things.
Yeah, they were definitely focused on the right things, but it's just they're allowing people to slip on by. Clayster finds that one kill off the rotation, but then he gives up his position, and that allows LAG to contest this the way that they have been. But at least if you're Carolina, you can still hold your ground. You're going to walk away with the final 15, still keep the lead in your favor.
Wow.
And you are already as well off the rotation over towards the new HP. So how long can you hold this one down with only a 20-point lead?
Clayster trying to hold off the rotation back through market, shut down as 2 Guerrillas were fighting through. Now the focus has to be up through the front. Astro just walks on up. Gwyn didn't have any support at all over the top. Fellow was a little bit late, and TJ is off the regen, so Carolina, once again, contested early. LAG still sticking around, even though it feels like Carolina are dominating the map. It just has not turned into the hard point time you'd expect.
But you can already see the heads-up plays coming in and out of the veteran. Clayster hits a massive route, going all the way through junk side to potentially flip these spawns, but Fame is trying to make that same exact route count for his team now. There's still 25 seconds here remaining at P4. Big one-on-one gunfight. Diamondcon is at least able to take TJ off for the time for now. But now both teams are just simply focused off the rotation. Carolina going to have more bodies up.
Flames taken down. Rotation for the rest of the Guerrillas a little bit late. Still, the hard point not open yet, so pressure doesn't necessarily result into one thing or another. Big win from Estro up top. He's having himself a great game, 22-16. Minute 15 of the hard point, and that stretch of kills gives us a 50-50 over the top of Chunk. Here comes TJ with the pistol, then right over the top at Barrows. Clay right there to follow up, and then the absolute decimation of the hit comes out. But Fame, the last one standing, continues to keep the hard point neutral.
And now Carolina can no longer win at this HP, but you have to put your team in the proper ideal setup to soak a lot of this P5 time. You have the Guerrillas exactly where you want them, trying to head bash their way up through red side. just got to make these kills a lot more difficult for them. You have Gwyn cutting off top red, Fellow just trying to make his plays on towards the HP, but with Gwyn falling, here comes an opportunity for the Gorillas.
Trends and patterns have favored Carolina, but all it takes is one good moment for LAG late in this game, and keeping the hardpoint contested is more than enough at the moment. TJ still alive, backside barrels. Flames looking to hunt him out, and he's got just enough help from Estriel to make that an impossible situation for Tej. So 10 seconds of scrap. Going to go the way of LAG, and we're going to head right back over to P1 where DC's already set up and trying to contest the Raven setup.
Yeah, the Gorillas are just staying in this hard point. They are not going to go away that easy. So now it's only a 24-point difference, but Carolina are going to be the team initially in towards P1. So how do the Gorillas try to set up their break? A team kill comes in from TJ. That's going to give him a man disadvantage, but Clayster finds one. Now it's still an even number.
Estriel trying to go, but doesn't have the space to do so. Diamondcon also dropping. Flames kind of a moot secondary trade as he's trying to battle a TJ from a weird angle. Fame trying to get involved as well. Here comes the hit from the front for LAG. Diamondcon trying to get up towards top red. This is taking a lot of time though. Carolina continue to find score, and with TJ popping off inside the hard point, there's the follow-up, and likely with that also the game. Flames has to be the one to touch, and he's going to get challenged by Clayster, who ends on 5 in a row, and maybe closer than he would have expected, but Carolina still close it out cleanly.
And we talked about it before the map started. It came down to the rotations. A majority of those hills, Carolina found themselves in those positions first. The P4s were always scrappy. Even the P5s at times were scrappy. But every time we got over to the P2, that was a money hill for Carolina. They kept also a majority of that P3 time as well, besides that one break that came in for the Gorillas on the second half of that game. But if you're going to play hardpoint like that for Carolina, that's chef's kiss, because Gwyn is usually their all-star. He goes 11 and 19, puts up the most hill time, but everyone else, including both ARs for the team, who average a .88 overall in HP, they stepped up tremendously in game one.
Big time. And it started right off the get-go for Fellow. 5,300 total damage for him. Clayster ends at 56. The non-traded kills are also pretty decent across the board. So, I mean, again, it just felt like one of those moments where you continue to look across. The game flow is probably going to show it as well.
Yeah.
Moments of kind of stagnation, but every time we got to a rotation, Carolina seemed to be the first team there, and they were getting, 25 seconds compared to maybe, 30 plus on some of those hills. But yeah, I think that's a lot of credit to LAG making life difficult, but yeah, it does feel like Carolina had that hand pretty much firmly across all of Karachi.
And you could just tell that might have been the best hard point I've seen Clayster play all season long.
That's a good shout.
What he was able to do, not only with his kills, but the routes he was able to hit, to set his teammates off the rotation, to make it easier off that rotation when they have the advantage in the kills and also the positioning. He was making those veteran plays. That's why he's a 3-time world champion. He showed it in that map #1, and that's how also you lead the troops. Like, this is an old squad, but Clayster, he's the vet. If you play like that, there's nothing stopping this squad.
No, absolutely not. And the thing about it is, as Carolina looks, you have Gwyn, who's obviously in the running for Rookie of the Year at the moment. Not as great, most statistical KD game overall, but his role was really just get to be the first guy in. Be the guy that kind of tries to break open these hard points, because when TJ's playing like this, floating around the map, again, it just makes life extra easy for those ARs, and a lot of the onus does fall on to Gwyn. Just, hey, get into the hard point, stay alive as long as you can, and for the most part, he was largely successful in that.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that's a little bit uncomfortable for Gwyn. Like,
yeah, sure.
Obviously, you're leading in every single statistic for this team. But now when we get to landing your first map, at least your second series for your first map, you come in here and go in 11 and 19. You drop the most hill time, but you walk away victorious. So if he can play like that, with the rest of the teammates playing the way that they were, Carolina, without question, should be on the upward.
Do the dirty work. How often do we talk about that? And sometimes being a struggle for players that are coming out of challengers. They're not used to just kind of being in a selfless role. They expect I'm Mr. Do-It-All. And that has been kind of the story for a lot of the season so far for Gwyn, but a nice selfless game there for him. Now we look over to the Karachi Search and Destroy. And again, kind of like the desk mentioned, the Search and Destroy has been on the up and up for the Carolina, but it just comes down to, again, does LAG just show up and be dominant at Search like they were in Major 2? Because that's kind of what you figure would have to be a case for success for them here in this series.
Yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see, because as a squad, they have yet to play Karachi with Flames on the lineup. So they're going into this with complete blind counters, a whole bunch of fresh strategies, and you have to be prepared for what Carolina do best, and that's usually on the defensive side. Carolina do not allow bomb plants to go down. And that's the reason why they are 0% in retake situations. That bomb is simply not getting planted. And the way that they love to play this map is usually just standing strong on defense. It's great in the overall first bloods. They find a lot more success on the defensive side. So if you are the Gorillas, you have to just simply work a bomb plant and make Carolina on their back foot.
Indeed the case, and again, here is that representation of what's been happening in stage 3, 7-4 for the Carolina Royal Ravens. And after the roster change that happened in stage 2, this was the one mode where they were just like not getting it together at all. So seeing not only their opening duel win percentage go up, but their conversion of that also be super successful for them, that's been one of the main reasons why their search has really improved in the course of the last couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, 7-4 overall record. This is where they've been putting all their work into to make sure they improve in this mode. Obviously, it hit the other game modes. Control hasn't been up there in the air for them, but Hardpoint, it took a drastic hit. But the good thing for them is you're already up 1-0 in this series. Now you're chaining that momentum into this map number 2 on Karachi, where it used to be a really strong map for them in the beginning of the year. But teams started to understand how they like to play, and I think if you're LAG coming in completely blind with your team not playing it, you were just simply all of last night, Carolina on Karachi. We have to figure out what the hell they're going to do.
100%. And at the same rate, can you just find a way to get together and say, look, let's just not overcomplicate things. Let's just play over the course of what has been successful for us in the past, which, again, you look at the Karachi search throughout the season, there have not been a lot of points to point to when it comes to LAG. Not great in the opening duel win percentage, and the worst stat is when they do find the rare opening duel win, they're also very unsuccessful in converting off of those. So a lot of improvement needing to happen, and we'll find out if they've been able to get any work done here as they start off on the opening offense.
And I love this initial play already off the rip. You're expecting LAG to always apply pressure over towards B, especially because you don't have any trophy systems, but they're super aggressive over towards A. Flame does get picked off first, but they have a lot of map control to even up the numbers.
Well, Astro finds Fellow, but he's still on the hunt to see where TJ went to. He used the LAG smoke to kind of push out, find the first blood. But the response gets us to an even 3v3. TJ has re-wrapped back towards A, and he may give the comms here saying no one's home, which is partially true, but Diamondcon has gone untallied to this point.
Yeah, but look at Astrio with the bomb in hand, slowly working his way behind enemy lines, but Clayster gets a read on him. Now he is going to be trapped, and Clayster hits the shots to find that kill. So now it's Diamondcon left in 1v3. He's able to instantly find TJ. 35 seconds to clutch the 1v2.
Yeah, but the bomb's down in a weird spot. You're kind of stuck here at red. You don't know if anyone's topside yellow. An opportunity maybe to clear some of the angles up as Clay and Gwyn will try to work this one together. And hello, how are you? Whoa, careful. Able to find the kill, no worries. Nearly a little Turner, but no crazy antics here as Carolina take the opener.
Yeah, they find that opening first blood, and then TJ, you see the way he was able to just continuously be aggressive up on the map. Gets all the info for his team that they have to be around this A site, and when he puts himself in that position over towards Junk, they don't spot anyone on bus, they don't spot anyone on ticket, so he gives that comm to Clayster. Someone has to be going for a flank, and the communication right there is what leads to Carolina taking the first round.
Clean stuff. And that little bit of extra aggression through mid is going to live in the heads, I think, of LAG in terms of how we want to use our smoke in the future. We'll consider that when we get back to their offense. But now, trying to put together a defensive response of their own. DC, Estriel getting aggressive, but a stun does land in the face of that trophy. And Diamondcon, who has to hold off. Oh, goodness. TJ gets the first at range, and then Estriel, who was affected by the stun, also gets taken out. And that's going to be an easy 4v3, now to a 4v1, as Fame is the last one left.
Yeah, that bomb is now getting planted for Carolina. Fame with 45 seconds to locate 4 different players, or just instantly try to go for that defuse. But this round is basically done with the way that TJ was able to answer early on into this one. All out aggressive up through the middle of the map with the MCW as well. Usually expecting him to have a rival 9 in hand, but the fact that he's able to walk away with 2, it's just great plays from Carolina to use the aggression to their favor, take full advantage of that B site, and just simply not allow LAG to get any kills on that round. Perfect so far in the search.
3 in a row for TJ in particular as well after the opening spree. And a quick start. And this is, again, there's a stun that lands, and Diamondcon stops because Estriel thinks he's in trouble.
Yep.
And that's just good response from TJ. And then Estriel, after she shrugged off the effects of the stun, you kind of wonder, like, what did that trophy system even do? Because it hit right in Estriel's feet.
Yeah, that's just tough, but TJ takes full advantage of it. He's the leading slayer in the kill death department for Search and Destroy at a 1.24 for Carolina. And he's trying to improve that here, as now they change up that defensive look. 2 players over towards B, a couple stuns coming through the middle of the map, so now it falls into the hands of the players over at A to try to cover that ground.
And that's TJ smoke, by the way, that encompasses this middle archway at B, so LAG will not see if anyone has crossed or not, let alone the fact that TJ has been able to get really far forward. Here's the look back over towards Rubble. Tough gunfight with Fame. He thinks he has the advantage, but Diamondcon able to help out just before Fame got rechalled. So now an early first blood for LAG 4v3 and some time to work with here.
And now if you're Felony, you're in a very crucial position. You have your players getting red over towards the red side, but they have no idea that you have made your way over towards that bridge area. But he is going to put down a couple shots at the same time. Clayster finds one. Eventually, Felony is going to fall. So now it's numbers advantage in favor of the Gorillas with full B-side control.
But the problem is Diamondcon can't stay here. He's the one who's carrying the bomb, so he has to commit to getting onto the site eventually. Astriel, dealt with. What a read indeed from Clay. And now Diamondcon has to come down low and take his position away from the bridge side. Nades are landing. Time's becoming an issue here. And Flames, this is not a great angle for you. Doesn't see the initial. Damage from Clayster is good. Fumble from Gwyn to get the first and then the second. And it's a 3-0 start for Carolina, and Fellows hyping up the boys.
And that's just perfectly played right there out of Carolina. They had the tack still in the back pocket so they can get an understanding if they were working that bomb plant. But once Clayster gets that read on Astriel, dropping down from top 3, you put it into a 2v2. Like you said, Diamondcon being the bomb carrier, holding down that top bridge area with an AR. He usually wants to find himself in that position with an objective player working that bomb site. But when he gives up that position, you set up Gwyn for the first kill. He's already weak from great shots out of Clayster. And that's a great 2v3 clutch right there out of Carolina.
And you got to feel like Gwyn, after being the selfless hill guy last hard point, now 4 in a row, he's got to be feeling like he's him again. Oh, yeah. Full focus for Carolina. Over towards the B site. Diamondcon deep on the defense. Fame up top. There should be a read here. You cannot give away a first blood for your LAG.
And this is perfect because Carolina in that previous attacking round, the stuns were able to hit, slow down the plays from Astriel. So this time they said, screw that. We're not even going to try to take that positioning on the map. And it opens up that B site completely for Carolina. Bomb goes down. TJ finds the first blood. 30 seconds remaining.
And there's just no time for Fame to hit this pinch. Flames is going to try to force it with it. But Fellow gets the read on it perfectly. Double down for Fellow. Pistol out. Diamondcon stuck at Rebel, and Fellow will take 3. Carolina are vibing.
Team Fell, his birthday was a couple days ago. Starting to feel fantastic so far in this series. Had a great map. Number 1 finds 3 in this round number 4. But Carolina can feel it. The energy is definitely on their side. I'm pretty sure even when I walked through backstage, when I looked at Clayster, I think he thought I was red. He might be seeing red out there with just the way that he's playing.
It's just wild to see how quickly this search and destroy has improved for these guys. Maybe the ability of getting in person is just the cheat code for them.
It's gotta be.
Tell you what, unreal stuff. Fame at 0-4, Flames at 0-4, Astriel 1-4. It's just not good anywhere you look. LAG, this is a must-win round for you. Gwyn's playing an off angle, topside bust. No, sir. Get out of my face. 6-0 for Gwyn. Cruise missile up, and Flames in the blink of an eye is in a 1v4.
In his debut, he had 2 1v3s. But so far, he hasn't found a kill on this round. The bomb is all the way across the map. Carolina are not going to give up anything for free. Fellow gets the info, and look at all the arrows from Carolina. They're all pouncing over towards his bridge side.
They're doing no wrong, man. Frags are landing perfectly. Fellow.
All right, it's all good.
Yeah, a little bit of a heat check, maybe. Just like, I'm just going to send this one in. But, oh, mercy. This has been an absolute blinder of a search and destroy. And, I mean, we're dealing with a total of 6 kills through 5 rounds for LAG.
Yeah, this is not good. This is not good. They've only been able to find 1 first blood throughout this entire map. But the positioning right there, the reads out of Carolina. And Gwyn with the shots to find 2. Just basically calls around right there. Now you have a cruise missile in your back pocket. If you're the Gorillas, you have to figure out how the hell we're going to stop this B plant.
I mean, what do you do here? You have to be stacked up over towards shops. Gwyn's definitely going to call the cruise from backside barrel here, and you would figure as soon as this is called in, the hit should be pretty much on the way. Diamondcon going to stay a little while longer to see if he can see anything, but all 4 members stuck over towards Fountain. Astriel trying to get a chow up, but the pre-fire shots are right there. And Carolina, they're not even going for the plant. They're just waiting to see if they can catch the defense on rotation in for the retake.
Oh, yeah, because once that cruise missile hits and nothing's able to connect, Gorillas know that they had to potentially be playing for that bomb plant. But TJ finds the first, but it's only a matter of moments before Gwyn works his way on that deep pinch. He's only able to take down 1. Now it's the vet, 3-time world champ, in a 1v2 4-6-0.
Bob collected quickly. LAG going to hold hands here, trying to get their first round win. Clay. Good proactive read here from Clay, for being completely honest. Just comes down to LAG are waiting for this plant to happen. Does he get an exit? Does he get a look to isolate after this? And was he seen?
No.
Oh, he wasn't seen at all. This may work out perfectly for Klay. Oh, hello, how are you? One more player up top. Klay knows where he's near. 30 seconds still to play off of. Estriel sliding forward. Benefit for Klay. 1v2. What do these young guns think they're doing? 32 or 18. You just don't know with this guy. Carolina 6-0.
That's just unbelievable out of Carolina. Flawless Search and Destroy from start to finish. In that situation right there for the Gorillas, you're in a 2v1. You're double stacking in towards red. Someone has to be in a position to watch the exit. That was the most important thing. You're thinking, all right, he either ran in towards Back Cafe or potentially in towards Tiki. You're not expecting him to push right up the bus side, work his way through bottom arches to push to that middle alley. Once he gets that first kill, he knows. Clayster's been playing for a really long time. They have to be doing the buddy system in full effect. And once he gets to read it, that's the play that was in hand. He just takes full advantage of it. Drops 35 in the game number 1, 7-1 in the Search and Destroy. That guy just simply comes different when he needs to the most.
It's unreal, man. Legitimately, this Carolina Search has come so far in such a quick time. 6-0. And let's be candid again, I think you reflect off of the day yesterday.
Yeah.
And there's one of two ways you can respond to it.
Yep.
It's like, hey, we could have beaten Optic on a couple of maps. We threw away a lot of advantages. Sometimes you crumble off of having days like that. Nothing of the sort here today. It was great macro decisions being made by Carolina in map number 1, and then it's just perfect in map number 2. So now we go to consider a high-rise control. Both teams good on the map. You know, also when you look at what they've done on the other two, this is going to be a preference for both teams probably.
Yeah, this is the bread and butter, at least for LAG. It's been like that all season long. This has been their go-to control, and at least on the opposite side for Carolina, they also love themselves some high-rise, so this is going to be a good one.
Well, North Carolina's raising up right now, 2-0, and a chance to possibly put our first 3-0 sweep in play and just get on with business. But can LAG find some more of that late land magic? We'll find out with high-rise control coming up next.
Upgrade your game with the Scuf, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Scuf Gaming is doing an ultimate giveaway where you and a friend can win a chance to go to COD Champs this year. The giveaway includes 2 VIP tickets, travel expenses, and more. To enter, scan the QR code on the page or go to scuf.co/CDL and enter your email. Terms and conditions apply.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
here in Toronto, and so far Carolina all over this particular series. A square up with LAG. Lots riding on the line in terms of the overall season standings, but all of that land magic that LAG continue to surprise us with in the first two majors has been absent to this point. Has to change now as you look at the high-rise control.
Yeah, backs against the wall. You have your best control map right in front of you. It's going to be an even square because both of these teams love themselves some high-rise control. Both have to simply figure out what they're going to do on the attacking side because both teams as well on the defensive side are some of the best teams in the game. But just the way that Carolina have been playing, the way that they slayed in map number 1, the ARs are hitting completely different so far in this series. And you know what High Rise is about. Power positions. Those ARs holding those down and putting you in the trap for as long as they possibly can.
And that's the biggest part. Both of these two teams we've seen multiple times get thrown into the blender when they're on the offensive side. Avoid that at all costs. Like you said, the defensive sides have been great for both these two teams. The offensive sides, not as much. The overall season records do trend towards Carolina, but that's over the iteration of both teams having a couple of different rosters. So this is all about a full-out square-up based on how they've played it throughout this qualifier, and it is Carolina starting things off on the attack first with Gwyn trying to get aggressive through mid. Not quite, as Glacier will blow up the propane tank and unfortunately find Gwyn on the other side of the kill feed.
See how far away he was from that damn propane? I'm telling you, it's so possessed. Just never goes in the favor of the team that's actually trying to take some ground over towards A, but Carolina already find themselves at that B point. First segment about to get complete. You have Flames putting himself in a position to play some spawn kills, but we have to work them off this objective.
Yeah, it's one of those shoes on the opposite foot type moments right now because you've got TJ and Flames just kind of in a race to see who can pull off the most successful spawn trap, and neither will find too much. 2 ticks of progress. Good over towards B early. 60 seconds still left on the clock, but LAG with that quick set of kills already in the middle of the map.
Yeah, now they have all map control, and Carolina has to find a way on out of their spawn. Great team shots out of Fellow and Gwyn to take down Diamondcon from that positioning. Now you can work your way up through B Street because you have somewhat a bottom pit as well. Glacier up through the middle of the map finds another kill. That time comes to a pause as that third segment getting worked on.
It's working on quickly as well. Diamondcon wants the challenge. Keep in mind, there's some history between these two. New York, the basis of that point, and okay, Diamondcon back in right before that third tick can get completely locked. The clock continues to tick, over 40 seconds left.
But still, Carolina are giving themselves opportunities. They're trading effectively over towards the right street. Fame pushes behind enemy line and is able to take care of the final 2 players. Now all of Carolina coming off of the respawn. They still have that progression a little bit on towards that third segment at B, but 25 seconds left. You got to get a move on it.
Yeah, and they're trying to re-clear out top heli. Fellow trying to hit a route, and he may have slipped through the entirety of this LAG defense. The problem is Fame is holding the front door nicely. Double for him. Clay also dropping means that it's just down to Fellow. Able to at least clear off the top propane tank, but he's got to get to work on the zone, and Fame just come right back to him. So now the clock stops at 8 seconds. Off the respawn is a little bit more of where the difficulty starts to come through for Ravens, and as Flames takes off Fellow's position from the B zone, it will just be the 2 ticks of progress tallied here in the first offensive attempt for Carolina.
Yeah, good attempt right there from Carolina, especially right off the rip, finding those early 2 segments, but LAG just maintaining the map control, always having players consistently pushed up into your spawn, just making it very difficult to even work your way out of the base. As LAG go up 1-0, no cruise missiles to work with, but 2 segments from Carolina is pretty good because now LAG have to figure out how they're going to get theirs.
Yeah, that's the big part about it, right? I mean, we talk about this often when it comes to especially maps like High Rise and Invasion. Set the bar with that first offense, and only getting 2 ticks doesn't really give you much pressure, I think, if you're LAG. It's not 0, but it does feel like it's pretty manageable. Like, we figured you're coming into an offense with trophies, you should be able to get at least 2 ticks somewhere, right?
Just the only thing is you're going up against this Carolina roster, who are the best team at this map and not allowing segments to get away from them. So you just have to figure out how to stay strong in that category. Great shots right there from Gwyn. Starting to get activated with that MCW in hand, but LAG, they're applying all this pressure over towards A. The propane is eventually going to blow up, and now you have to hit the reset. At least you have a little bit of B Street control.
Yeah, Fellow dropping means that Carolina will have to try to find a different way to contest this B zone, likely coming off spawn. Flames still trying to get forward, get into the face of this Carolina defense. It's working out nicely for him. DC still on the zone, 10-5 start, has a great one. Fame almost with the transfer to make some noise over towards the A zone, but now you have the 3-man stack on B, and unless a nade hits and takes off a couple of players, this one's gone.
Yeah, that's already the 3 segments complete over at B, so now time is going to get extended. Carolina have a little bit of ground to make up for. So now the Guerrillas just trying to work their way out of that B point. Flames is able to at least find one, and now couple players on his side do fall, so it's going to turn into a one-on-one versus Clayster. He's able to find that kill now. Where is Ezreal?
Quick trade coming out. Omnicott also, wow, lots of damage taken because as soon as he comes through the windows, TJ finishes off what was a lot of damage coming out of the gun of Felony. So now you've got an opportunity for Carolina to kind of use Clayster as a pivot point. They can start to push up just a touch. They still haven't found Clay. LAG are still looking for him. Clay hops up, but runs right into the LAG offense, which now finds their way onto the A zone.
Gamecock comes to a pause, and they at least get the info on the final player that was pushed out. They know everyone else is off the respawn, so let's get our trophy systems down. Let's try to work up these segments, as the first one already is going to be complete, but effective trades from Carolina. Still trying to contest this. Gwyn again with a massive couple of kills. It's going to at least alleviate a little bit of that pressure on the point, but final player here is Ezreal. He's still making it happen.
On 5 in a row, off the bit of a regen, looking for kill number 6. He's able to tally it for the cruise missile. Pistol out, and Ezreal popping off on the A zone. A late stack comes through, and that is about as clean as you'd seen from LAG.
That's the best that it gets right there. We're talking about on high rise, where you usually don't find a lot of success on your attacking rounds, but they were consistently not going 2 to 3 dead at the same time, allowing Carolina to put them in that little bit of a trap. But once they captured that B point, you already have 3 players stacked over on that side of the map. But you can take a look at it again. Clayster right off the rip with the propane takes down Gwyn. And then this side, unfortunately, somehow, someway, TJ dies. I just don't get it.
There are some rounds you feel like you're playing a 4v5. It's just the way it is. So a huge advantage for LAG, not only being up 2-0, they've got a cruise missile, the ticks of progression are also stacked in their favor. It's feeling like LAG are all over this high-rise control. Carolina would have to put together kind of a miracle run here for the quote-unquote mini reverse sweep on the map, and Fame is not allowing them to even stop the clock on the B zone.
The biggest thing for Carolina is obviously walking away with this attacking round by doing it through the segments, because they're only down by 4. And when Clayster finding that double, it's going to give them an opportunity to work their way up through B, but it's consistent trades coming in from the Gorillas. Always making sure that they're holding down those power positions. Everyone's sitting positive. And right now, Carolina just a little bit late to the party, but TJ, he finds a double to keep that streak alive.
Okay, thought for sure he'd be dead to rights of the trade, but little finesse around the tower allows him a chance at the second. Nade's still coming in, finding successes. There's no trophy system down, so the clock continues to tick below the 50-second mark. Cruise missile gets called in. That will take care of TJ inside of elevator, and Carolina need to reset up.
Yeah, now with 40 seconds left, you have to make sure the players who are already pushed out of the base stay alive in this positioning, because when that cruise missile gets called in, all information gained for the Gorillas. Clayster effective on that trade, but still time starting to get away from you. He falls. Farthest player pushed up is going to be Gwyn, but everybody else off the respawn.
And this has not just been a good map for LAG, it's been a great team map for them. Legitimately, everyone at 14 kills, so sharing is caring. It's been the name of the game to this point. Clock stops at 20 seconds with a little bit of focus over towards B, but I mean, LG are just getting away with whatever the heck they want right now. They are all over this Ravens team, and you can kind of feel the breath in the lungs of the Ravens has been vacuumed out just a touch. A shift possibly in momentum here for the series if this holds, which it looks like it will, and Fame finds another stunned up with the pistol. 5 seconds left. Last attempt would be Gwyn here on A. He gets dealt with. Flames over the top with the pistol. That will do it. Goodbye, high rise. Let's look at the next map for Hardpoint.
Oh, and that was quick. Gorillas just made easy work of that control right there. Successful on their attacking rounds, but even better on their defense. Only allowing 2 segments in 2 defensive rounds to get away from them.
For real.
But if you needed a response, if you needed some momentum to try to continue forward in this series, you definitely gained it right there. As everyone played just simply fantastic on that map number 3.
Absolutely. Full team effort. And that's the thing about it. It's like in a series that you have gotten kind of, again, behind the 8 ball on the hard point. You don't have any sign of life really at all in the surge. Being able to come back together as a full squad after that little break and put together a performance like this, okay, now all of a sudden we start to give you a little bit more attention. The issue coming up here is the fact that you're going to a Vista hardpoint, which we have not seen them play at all.
Yeah,
so it's a big question mark still for the rest of the series for LAG.
That's the only scary thing about this one, is that obviously you've seen Carolina get a couple reps on Vista. They haven't found any success on it as they're sitting 0-2, but the Gorillas have yet to play this in a professional matchup. They're probably getting reps in practice. They were feeling really good to at least put this one in the series, but you're going to have to show me something, or at least play to the counters that Carolina are not strong in. They were great versus Atlanta when you talk about those those rotations.
Sure.
But everything else after that, the hold percentage was abysmal. The break percentage was abysmal. And we know on like a map like Vista, if you control one side of the map for 4 out of the 5 hills, you're basically going to call games. So if you are Carolina, you have to stay ahead of those rotations and even better in those setups.
Well, I think the thing on top of that is in a series to this point, up until map number 3, where we've been praising the Carolina ARs, not to say they were absent, but LAG were beating a lot of 1v1s at range. And so, like, that, again, it's not just signs of life. It's coming in the right departments here for LAG. So maybe a chance for things to be kind of more considered in terms of, you know, who's playing well right now. And I think the thing about it is you don't want just one player popping off on a Vista map. You need all 4 players working together, finding a way to move around the map as a unit.
100%, and I think that's what the Guerrillas were able to get, at least a little sample size of it off of that control right there. So hopefully they can continue that forward on a map that they have yet to play as a squad on the main stage. But now it gets a little bit scary for me for Carolina, because that's now 2 respawn maps where Gwyn hasn't really played well. 11 in map number 1, 9 in that map number 3. He's been your all-star for this team, and you're definitely going to need on a map like Vista, where the pacing is just so damn fast.
Yeah, I mean, both the SMGs, I mean, we saw TJ in map number 1 was kind of the guy that really made a mess of a lot of the LIG rotations, but when Gwyn is the guy that's saying, hey, I guess I got to play inside the hill, that's not exactly where you want one of the top slayers right now in Major 3 qualifiers, at least not necessarily. So here's a look at how things have gone again across the hard point. Neither of these 2 teams have particularly been great, and the hold percentage, obviously breaking, has also been poor for them. And the odd thing about it, the one stat that wasn't shown, was the rotation percentages, where again, both teams are decent there, top half of the league, but it's just been one of those situations. They're not finding the efficiency that our top squads are.
Yeah, it just comes down to everything after that. Once you get the spawns, we're talking about the initial gunfights. If they don't go in your favor, now you're spawning all the way across the map. The hold percentage is going to take a big blow there. And then now when you're spawning all the way across the map, you are having no success on the re-breaks in. So both of these teams have a lot to focus on. But if we saw anything in map number 1, at least the setups were a lot better for Carolina on that Karachi. Now you just have to try to figure out on Vista, because like I said earlier, just the way that this map plays is so damn fast.
Yeah, and I think not just for looking at the obvious candidates for Carolina, who's going to be the candidate in your mind for LAG? Because I'm kind of looking at Estriel after a great performance, running around with the sub, that he's going to be that guy that kind of keep TJ in check just a touch.
Yeah, I feel like Estriel is definitely a guy that you could talk about, but I'm more focused on Diamondcon. I feel like every time LAG spawning on a hard point and that guy has a phenomenal game, they usually see themselves at the end of the map with the W. So Diamondcon, I'm looking at him in the battle between him and Clayster, who have a lot of history together. Whoever's going to win that AR battle and really set the tone to dominate those power positions might be able to be victorious at the end.
Yep, shout outs back to that Cold War year with New York Subliners. Diamondcon was, without question, one of the top ARs and challengers that season. Steps in for Clay, voluntarily stepping down. Diamondcon doesn't get a chance to finish off the season. He watches his teammates and challengers win a championship that year. So, yeah, the history, pretty deep. Shout outs if you followed all of that. Here we go. LAG from the favored side, immediately into the hard point. Carolina taking their time, trying to work this through mid. They're going to try to isolate Diamondcon, who's good for the first 1-for-1. There's not bad.
Yeah, that's all you really want to do right there in that situation, because the numbers advantage is still going to be in your favor. Now, the final player who doesn't fall is Gwyn. You know exactly where he is around the map. And so far, this has been a great P1 hold. No trophy systems as well to work with, but they walking away with potential 20 seconds. And they're keeping it scrappy.
Yeah, back and forth we go. Last 1v1 goes the way of Gwyn. And this is another map where you got to keep in mind, coming off map number 1, Fame really not called upon to have to be that guy to help out in the overall tempo and pace. But when he can get to that blackout mode where he just goes and fries, he can be very deadly. So a good response here for Carolina initially off the re-break. LAG right back in for a chance, but they do get pushed aside, and now the focus has to go down towards Burger.
Yeah, this is perfect plays from Carolina to basically tie the game up at the end of that P1. After being late to the party, but this time they're early off the rotation towards New. TJ starts it off with the first engagement. Someone's got to get into the HP. He knows that there's pressure all around him, not able to find that kill onto Fame, so the break comes in early for the Guerrillas.
ARs, though, for Carolina, giving them a chance for the re-break quickly. They take good advantage of it. Now Fellow through mid-map. Clay stuck in the corner. Gwyn helping out wherever he possibly can. 8-2. Okay, you want to see him pop off here, Jay. How about the start from the young man? 4 in a row for Gwyn at 9-2. Still locking down the hard point time until eventually a frag takes him out of position.
Yeah, that's the rookie of the year, I know. Just coming out slaying with that rival 9. Fortunately, they did not lead to a lot of time here at that P2 as 3 go down in defeat in favor of the Gorillas, but you still have the spawns off the rotation over towards next. Just got to take care of the playmaker on the side of the Gorillas, who's working his way on the outskirts of the map. I don't know if Clace is going to get a read on it. Big kill out of Estriel, but everyone on his team falls. So now Carolina are instantly here to just simply play for that kill.
And they're swarming. They're trying to isolate him at any given cost, but Estriel not taken down. A quick response out of LAG, now off the respawn to try to get back over to help contest this hard point. Fellow from the interior, able to find one. That's enough for him to step away and take care of another 2. Unreal stuff. Now just down to Flames. And nope, not going to get past Felony. How about the 6 in a row for him and a cruise missile?
Oh, he's been unbelievable on land. He finds himself now on 7 in a row. Single-handedly gets the break over towards P3. And now Carolina able to flip the spawns right on back. You already have Clace in a position playing those cutoffs. He finds a double. TJ finds a player who was roaming around the back end to potentially flip those spawns. And right now, Carolina are just a step ahead in this game.
Absolutely they are. And I'll be honest, as much as Estriel has tried to do his best, Fame needs to step up. He just has to be the guy that we knew from years previous. Not to this point has he shown up in any of the hard points. 3 and 9 out of the hard point for now for a little bit of the scrap time. And so again, LAG, even though it feels like they're getting behind the 8 ball, they're still right in this game.
Yeah, they're still right into this game. And you can see those spawns for Carolina. They did not want to afford those spawn outs at this P4. They are going to be the team initially here, but Felony knows now I had to invest the cruise missile to secure these spawns through the back end. Thankfully, his teammates find a couple kills with their weapons, and he finds the final with that cruise. So a successful break and a successful hold on those spawns.
Yeah, Clay trying to just push the forward line of scrimmage here in front of the hard point. Nades will take him out. Now Fellow just kind of on a railing, waiting for this contest. Double slide out! Are you kidding me? How has he managed to pull that off? Flames will get 1 in response, but it just doesn't matter. Carolina's going to get the back 20.
Yeah, back 20 is going to be theirs, but if you are the Gorillas, you can't give up all this time. You're going to be blessed with the rotation over towards P5. And you have to make up for some much-needed time. Only down by 40. Still going to be a one-on-one over towards the old here for the final 10, but TJ's able to win it. But this could be a very, very scary situation for the Gorillas because you do not want those back spawns for that next hill.
You just need Fame to do something, man. 3 and 13, running this flex SMG. He has to be able to help out Estriel because, again, Estriel's been doing whatever he possibly can and continuing to have that over the top of the bridge, but it's just felt like, not to sound it too insignificant, it felt like a 3v4. You just have not had Fame step up, and he's actually swapped over to an MCW. He's getting naded out of position. A frustrating map for Kevin Fame.
And now that's 3 dead in the feed, make it all 4, but I don't know if Carolina are going to get a read that the spawns now flip. This is not the ideal setup to chain that P5 to the P1 area. But they're still finding all the kills in the feed, just like map number 1, Felony on another 5 streak, 18 and 6. Go ahead, Ty. Keep doing your thing.
I'm telling you, this is one of the most veteran, oldest teams we have by average age in the league, but wow. Fellow and Clay have had their way with this LAG squad. Clay on rotation, trying to get themselves set up for some early time here at that P1. Fellow on 5 in a row, looking for a second cruise missile shut down by Diamondcon. And this is where LAG just need to reset and get back into this map.
Yeah, they need to get some much needed time here at P1. They found 20 seconds the first go around, but now you have trophy systems in your back pocket to assist you a little bit better.
Oh, man.
But no one is currently watching over the map. You just allow the SMGs for Carolina to push their way right through that side. They find 3 in the feed. Diamondcon, last player up, he drops, and another successful break right there out of the Ravens.
And this is where the map can get really out of hand.
Oh my.
And is it ever? I mean, wow. This Carolina team means business. Unbelievable in terms of how they've been able to kind of continue to just dominate at given moments in time. Fellow, topside bar, last player left here at the desk. Carolina coming off spawn, trying to get there in time, but LAG eventually get a bit of a break.
They need this final 15,
yes,
and they also need to chain it over to that P2, so a couple kills have to start going in your favor. Fame sitting at 5 and 18, you need to start to turn this around if you want to keep your tournament dreams alive. But you can see they were super aggressive up on that side of the map, and Carolina actually blessed themselves with those perfect spawns over the rotation. And now Fame here trying to contest it. He should get traded with more bodies here from Carolina, but it's still going to be a mixed phase to start this one off.
Estriel following up, but goodness, Gwyn. Fellow, 2v3 situation. They put it together perfectly. And then Fame just cannot get into Burger. Gwyn pushing and forcing the issue. 24 and 14 for Gwyn. Unreal stuff here for Carolina, now taking the lead closer to 100 points.
And now Flames at least gets that close spawn there for Estriel. But you did have a couple players spawn out for the Gorillas. Now TJ just trying to find the timing to execute not one, but potentially 2 kills for this break at this P2HP. He's able to switch to the Rival 9 at perfect timing. 15 seconds remaining, all the kills in the feed in favor of Carolina. They're going to potentially walk away with this final 10. And now with the Gorillas being down 90, you need a response here at P3.
And LAG is just all over the place. Individuals all over the map. No cohesion. Last 2 members for LAG over towards Bar. Clayster falls off, can't really finish off the damage he had tallied. Astral able to put something together. So we get over towards this Bar Hill. Things start to stabilize a touch for LAG. Just wonder if it's a day late and a dollar short.
Just need to start training a couple hills together, man. We saw some insane comebacks so far on Vista. And the Gorillas trying to add that one to the tally. So only down by 70 points. Quinn's just hitting shots like that. It's not going to make it easy. That's 2, make it 3 off the rotation. Final player alive is going to be Diamondcon. He is able to take down 1, but the break is successful again for the Ravens.
And I think we're starting to see why this is a map that LAG have not taken into competitive play. Have not played it to this point. Map picks and bans, not allowing them to veto it out, and it's really coming to punish. Trades all over the place, just continue to favor Carolina as Fellow just continues to put it together, kill after kill, streak after streak. I mean, come on, shoot back. Fellow on 5 in a row. Fame eventually able to stop the streak, but so what? Carolina all over the map.
They have the spawns as well for the next hill. They only need 35 seconds to close out this series. And they know that the Gorillas at least have to attempt to break these back spawns and try to flip them out. So they're reading the pressure. Gwyn finds another double. It's only 20 seconds until they call game. That's a clean 4 dead. Gorillas last push.
And a perfect zone for Carolina over the backside of this hard point. Gwyn trying to get a read. Bit mismanaged, juggling a lot of different angles at once, but TJ able to use that information to pick it apart. Stun goes out, nade down, and the follow-up kills are good. Oh, that'll do it. Carolina flying high. Hardpoint looking clean. LAG eliminated as Carolina dominate map number 4. Easy work.
Yeah, I'd get up and stand out of my chair too if I just played like that, Tyler. What an unbelievable performance from him in the HPs alongside Clayster, who just went absolutely off as the dynamic ARs for that team. But we said Gwyn was having a slow start in both the respawns. How about a takeover map in that map number 4? It's just when Carolina play like this, you got to keep in mind, all throughout this stage, they were just working on their search to destroy. They became one of the top teams in that mode. They now have to figure out how they're going to get back to their strengths in HP. They spotted it yesterday versus Optic. 1 or 2 opportunities cost them. But today, they fixed all those mistakes. Great off the rotation. Great first kills as soon as they win those rotations for those holds. And when they needed a break, they were always successfully able to find it. Ravens just came out different today.
Keep in mind, I mean, again, considering that the hard point standing for Carolina in the Major 3 qualifiers is not high, they were still the 2nd best team in rotation percentage. They just weren't able to lock things up. And maybe there was a bit of trying to do too much with that. Let's just make sure we got the ground that we just earned locked in before we try to take an extra step. A little moment of patience, and I think that was the big echoing point throughout this map. Everything felt like it was calm, collected, get your next read, then make your next play. Don't put the cart before the horse.
And that's such a big match right there, because obviously we all know we're at the Major 3 event and we're getting closer and closer to champs. You had LAG who are in that 9th spot. You had the Ravens who are in the 11th spot. And now with this win, they are going to be able to at least tie for that